Well, welcome back to the pod. This is episode 2, and we are back with Ted Shimer again. And today we're going to be talking specifically around parenting in a pornified culture. How do we as parents really understand what we need to do to protect our children? You're going to hear nuggets left and right. So I hope you'll stick around to the end, and I think you'll enjoy what you're about to hear. Let's dive right in. Hey, let's switch gears to talk to some parents. I want parents who may be listening. I got young kids, and I actually had a dad message me this morning asking for some advice. I get that every other day. How do I talk to my kids about porn? What do I do as a parent when it comes to technology? To sum it up, the word is help. Help, help, help. What would you say to some parents watching that they should, best practices, I guess?
Yeah, I think a couple things. Just one, de-shaming the topic of pornography. Just, man, from the very beginning, because in today's, age, I know a lot of parents they're having the porn talk before they have the sex talk because, hey, my 5 or 6 year old is around other kids. It's like, hey, you got to get ahead of the curve. The world is going to fill in the blanks for our kids. And so we can either let the world fill in the blanks or we can fill in the blanks. And so, at an early age, just talking in terms of, man, hey, there's some good pictures in the world and there's some bad pictures.
There you go.
So keeping it really simple, and hey, a bad picture is when somebody is showing the parts of their body that their bathing suit covers up. Mm-hmm. And hey, if you ever see a bad picture, hey, I want you to come talk to me. Yeah. I was talking to a dad a little while back, and he was talking to his 7-year-old son. He had yet to have the full sex conversation, but his son actually came home because he had that good pictures, bad pictures, just at that level, de-shamed it. His son came home one day and asked him about sodomy. He didn't use that word,
right?
But that's what his son was asking about because a kid showed him a video.
Yeah.
But because his dad had de-shamed it, man, he was able to have a conversation. I know kids that have been exposed to that very same thing as 8-year-olds, but they didn't ever have that conversation with their parents, and the shame was just, man, I'm gonna get in trouble if I bring this up. And man, he kept it a secret. And as a 25-year-old gay man, he's like, man, this is the only porn I've ever watched. Man, if I could have talked about it, would that have made a difference?
That's right.
So, man, de-shaming it and getting the topic on the table, man, is critical.
And you gave me years ago that Good Pictures, Bad Pictures book.
Yeah. It's a great resource.
So good. And one thing we've done with our boys, usually watching Razorback games, we don't watch TV, and God has just blessed us in this. But, you're watching the Razorback game. We can't ever leave the kids just while the games are on because of what the commercials are going to show. Some fans, sometimes cheerleaders. And simply me just going, hey, let's not watch TV right now. Just that alone. Day in, day out, whenever we're watching the TV, no, don't look. And I saw a switch with my oldest. He's now 11. But probably when he was about 8 or 9, when something scary would come on or something inappropriate. And the funny part is half the time it's not really that bad. But he's like, he'll tell his younger brother, Levi, don't watch, and he'll like cover his eyes. And now Levi's doing it.
That's
and
awesome,
now they're
man.
doing it when we're driving down the road, when they see a billboard or whatever it is. We pulled up to a coffee shop in town, and there was a workout place and a woman in a sports bra on the poster. And they were like, don't look over there. And so,
dude, I love that. That is awesome. That is awesome.
And we see people running down the road, like some girls, and they'll be like, don't look. And we'll actually, and now we're working on, that girl's not a bad person. Maybe somebody just didn't teach her how to honor her brothers and sisters of Christ and honor the Lord with her body. But we are going to honor her by not looking in that direction right now. So it's been great. And I think I've told that to a million parents, and I've heard it works really well. But it really starts with the dads.
Yep, it
and the
does.
parents. Like, they have to model. This is what it looks like to turn your head, and for little kids, you kind of got to be extreme, you know. So
Well, and I'll interject this right here is, you know, a lot of dads who are personally struggling with porn tell themselves that, well, hey man, this is my little secret. It doesn't affect my wife. She doesn't know. Doesn't affect my kids, but it does, because a dad who's watching porn doesn't have the sensitivity that you were just talking about. And so they're not training their son.
So
you know,
true.
Not to mention, man, the time and the thought that you know their porn habit is siphoning off from their family. You know, aside from that, just, you know, things like that is, because that's, you know, when you start, you know, teaching that mentality that, hey, there's some things that we need to avert our eyes from immediately.
Yeah.
Hey, what we watch, it's a big deal. What we let into our mind, you know, the scripture teaches us that, and so modeling that's huge.
Yeah, if you're a dad listening to this, the most loving thing you can do right now for your family is to get free from porn so that you can train them up.
Yep.
Because the porn that hooked you is not the porn that's coming after them. You think you're stuck? Man, I get more and more fearful for my boys every freshman class that I meet. Every single one. So what would you say about technology? What should a parent do? When should I give my kid a phone? What's your answer to that?
Well, you know,
If y'all are going to throw rocks and stones, throw them this direction.
man, you know, handing a kid unfiltered access to the internet, and I've heard parents say this. I had somebody tell me that they're like, well, man, that's their space, that's their private.
Yeah.
No, if you're paying for that, but there's more people that have access to your kid's mind than ever before, and a lot of deviant people.
Yeah.
Man, it's our responsibility as parents what we're allowing them. And so, you know, man, having, you know, hey, when they're 16, they can drive. Man, you know, I think that could be, you know, an opportunity to have a phone. You can have a phone with texting, and GPS and other stuff, a camera, without it being connected to the internet.
That's right.
You know, Wise Phone is one of the places. Gab is another.
Yeah, Bart, those are good.
Yeah.
All good things.
And so, man, you can, you know, the kids that aren't addicted to media and porn, the parents that do their due diligence and, you know, are strategic about, man, hey, we've got to have a plan here.
Right.
Man, those kids are going to be running circles around the other kids, just, man, emotional awareness, just leadership, confident, I mean, all of the stuff, just at a whole different level. And so, man, this is an area that, man, as parents, we can't be lackadaisical when it comes to media, when it comes to porn, because once again, man, the adolescent brain is not like the adult brain. It's much more impacted.
Yeah. I tell people, like you and I, we're not going to, could start watching porn right now, every day for 5 years, and we could develop an addiction. And then we could start working on it. We could start the Freedom Fight program, and we could find freedom. Way easier than an adolescent kid watching it for 1 year straight. He's going to struggle because of how moldable the brain is at that age.
And to that point, these freshmen that you were just talking about, on average, how long have they been watching porn?
Right. Well, the numbers have not, like the stats of 11, 12, 13-ish has not been my experience. It's been way younger.
Huh.
Well, at least first exposure.
Yeah.
It's been way younger. But my experience is roughly around 10.
That's when they'll start watching it consistently.
Start watching it consistently or seeking it out to have access to it. And it's been mind-boggling for me now that I have an 11-year-old, knowing what's out there. So, and like you said, it is our responsibility as parents to be diligent. And I think parents have this mentality of, well, I trust my kid. Don't trust your kid. I think that's foolishness, and I tell you that lovingly, because like we do some, I would say, dangerous stuff out here on the river. We chop down trees, and I do work with my son. I'll give him a saw. We shoot guns out here. I don't hand my kid a gun and say, I trust you, man. Even though he knows how to handle a gun. I don't do it, because one mistake can kill him. And I think the same is true for, believe it or not, smartphones.
Well, and the thing is because, yeah, your kid, and I'm sure he is a good kid. I've heard Josh McDowell say, hey, when I hear parents say, hey, my kid would never look at porn, he's a good kid. Josh says, that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Because porn, your kid, even if he's not looking for porn, porn is looking for your kid.
Oh.
And today, porn is going to find your kid. The question isn't if, it's when. And so, man, just recognizing that man, one exposure, and you've seen this, man, can hook a kid.
Just one,
and man, he's hooked.
And that goes back to your point earlier of having the conversations where they can come to you. In fact, what we've done with our boys, it says, if you see any bad pictures or bad videos and you come to us, you will get rewarded.
Yes, exactly.
We will. You want to come to us and tell us that. Like, it's not going to be shameful. It's not going to be discipline. You want to tell us that. Now, don't go looking for it just so you get rewarded, but you will be rewarded. And I think that's important, because it's just wrecking kids left and right.
What is celebrated is repeated. So, man, celebrating the vulnerability, the honesty, man, all of that is huge.
I think parents today have a due diligence to learn technology, unfortunately. And I just was complaining to you about setting up that camera going, I hate this. I don't know what I'm doing, you know. But I have worked my tail off, and I don't know much about the ways, like you said, porn is seeking them out, the way it's going to attack them. The way they will find it. I've heard a number of my guys, the first time they saw porn was an airdrop. Is that what it's? Airplay. Is that what it's called on the phone?
Airdrop, yeah.
You know, if you have AirPlay, AirDrop.
One of their friends can just drop it to them without even,
Yeah, I'll show that to parents. If I'm out in a restaurant, they're asking me questions, I'll say, watch this, and I'll pull up like a photo, and I'll go to AirDrop it, and it shows everybody in the restaurant that I could send that to. And I go, imagine what a junior high, middle school, primary school looks like.
They're trying to find the most innocent boy or girl they can find and
with
drop
links,
it to them.
Videos, everything. And so I've had a lot of guys say that was my first exposure. And then what guys are doing, oh, well, I've got my phone locked down. And the way parents don't realize how browsers can be opened on Google Docs, any other kind of app. You can backdoor usually and find an internet browser that's not going to be picked up by web history, any other monitoring services. You owe it to your family to learn how this works.
Well, and I was talking to a minister in one of my groups, and so this was 10, 12 years ago when he was in 5th grade. And he said, man, as a 5th grader, we would make fun of the other 5th graders who weren't watching porn. And they're like, what? Dude, this is the websites you need to go to. And man, tomorrow come and tell us what you saw. And these are kids who had never watched porn, but the peer pressure, again, this was 10, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
What is it like today?
Exactly.
It's
exactly.
And so that's what our kids are facing. Man, the airdrop, the text, like, hey dude, check out this video.
That's right.
And so it's at a whole new level. And so, but the parents who do their due diligence, and whether it's, hey, I'm gonna get a phone for my kid that doesn't have access to the internet, that would be a good place to start. It's like, hey, they can text, they got GPS, they can take a picture. But man, you're not letting all the deviants have access to your kid's mind.
Exactly. So Again, any dads out there, I'll help you know what I know. I don't know much, but man, it's become so extreme for us because of things we've seen. We won't hand our phones to our boys without guided access. If you're familiar, if you have an iPhone, you don't know what guided access is, but it's incredible. I can triple click the phone. They can't get off the photos. You know, they can't get off whatever. They want to do a certain app. They cannot get off that app. We do some schooling on an iPad, boom, boom, boom. You cannot accidentally, 2 clicks away, go to something that is seeking him out. And it's been incredible. I created a YouTube video because I had so many parents asking me about how to use guided access. And so iPhones actually are pretty good where you can dumb them down and do some good stuff with them. However, we've made the decision as a family that we'll just go with what you described, starting with a watch that gives GPS and they can text, and then a phone that just gives written text, no pictures, because that's a big deal in a lot of schools, is sexting, videos, pictures of nudity, and it's actually normalized. And so we won't have any of that access, and we're okay with being the weird ones.
Yeah.
We're okay with that. And every single week I realize more and more people are joining the weird camp over here.
Yeah.
Come on, come one, come all.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and for those parents who do have iPhones, you know, making sure you have control of your kids of the App Store.
That's good.
Because there's so many parents that don't have, you know, it's like, well, hey, we're trying to monitor. It's like, well, you got to have control of your kids' app. They don't add apps without you being the one to add them.
Oh gosh, yeah.
And then the whitelisting, you can Google what that is, but that's a way to make a smartphone a dumb phone and really limit what they have access to. And so, yeah, it's critical because
you have a bigger network to do this. I did a very official poll with at that time, I think 14-ish guys that I was working with. And I said, these are all college age Max was like 24 at that time. I said, I think I used the word torment your parents to give you a phone? Yes. Would you have been angry at them if they did not give you a phone? Yes. Do you wish today they would have told you no? Yes. 100% across the board. And it makes sense.
Yeah.
They hate, and you said it earlier, the guys we're talking about that we're helping get free from pornography, in most cases, they're the cream of the crop guys. They're really good kids. They're really good people from really good homes, public school, private school, homeschool, Christian homes, whatever you want to call it. They're good kids and they're stuck because I think a lot of parents didn't realize what they were handing to their kids. Access to the world and the world's access to them, which is heartbreaking.
Yeah.
So. Well, thank you to Ted for being here. That was an incredible conversation. I know you guys as the viewers were blessed. And if it did bless you, I know we're always kind of thinking, man, how can I help other people? I'm going to give you one really simple way to help other people right now. Just hit the like button. God may use that to use the algorithm to send this video to who knows. It may be going to a guy who's struggling right now and needs the encouragement. It could go to a parent who really needs help on how to bless their kid and raise them up in a generation where porn is attacking them. It may go to a minister who's just stuck, not knowing what to do for his congregation or his ministry, and you could be the one that God uses to pump it to them. So, and then also, this stuff costs money. If you're looking for a way to help out, I'm gonna leave a link down below where you can give a tax-deductible donation. We got guys editing this video. We got a lot of stuff coming for you down the pipeline, and I'd love for you to jump on the team and help us out. Stay tuned, we got more coming. Thanks for watching.